Wisdom seekers, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's close to home for many of us: our social habits. We all have them, some good, some not so good. But here's the thing, not all of these habits are serving us well. In fact, some might be holding us back from living our best lives. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about 7 social habits you should consider quietly eliminating from your life. And to add some ancient wisdom to our modern discussion, we'll be peppering in some insights from Stoic philosophers. Trust me, these guys knew a thing or two about living a good life. Habit 1. Constantly seeking validation from others. We've all been there. Posting that perfect Instagram photo and obsessively checking for likes. Or maybe you find yourself always asking your friends, "Does this look okay?" before leaving the house. It's natural to want approval, but when it becomes a constant need, it can be exhausting both for you and the people around you. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus had something to say about this. He wrote, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Now, he's not saying we should aim to look foolish. What he's getting at is that true growth and self-improvement often come when we stop worrying so much about what others think of us. Think about it. How much mental energy do you spend wondering what others think of you? Now imagine if you could redirect all that energy into actually improving yourself or pursuing your passions. Sounds liberating, doesn't it? Here's a little exercise you can try. The next time you're about to post something on social media or ask for an opinion on your outfit, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to share or get feedback, or am I just seeking validation? If it's the latter, maybe it's time to hit pause and reflect on why you feel that need. Remember, the goal isn't to stop caring what others think entirely. We're social creatures, after all. The aim is to find a healthy balance where you're not constantly seeking external validation for every little thing you do. Habit 2. Gossiping and speaking ill of others. Gossip. It's like junk food for our social lives. It might feel good in the moment, but it often leaves us feeling pretty lousy afterward. And let's be real, it doesn't do any favors for our relationships or reputation either. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, him again, he had a lot of good stuff to say. Put it this way: if someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, "You obviously don't know about my other vices, otherwise you would have mentioned those as well." Now, that's a power move if I've ever heard one. But jokes aside, what Epictetus is getting at here is that engaging in or responding to gossip often just fuels the fire. And more importantly, it says more about the person gossiping than it does about the subject of the gossip. So, how do we break this habit? It's not easy, especially when gossip is often a way we bond with others. But here are a few strategies you can try. 1. Change the subject. When you notice a conversation veering into gossip territory, try steering it in a more positive direction. 2. Speak well of others. Make a conscious effort to speak positively about people, especially those who aren't present. 3. Question the source. If someone shares gossip with you, ask them how they know this information. Often, this can highlight how unreliable gossip can be. 4. Reflect on your motivations. When you feel the urge to gossip, pause and ask yourself why. Are you trying to feel better about yourself? Are you bored? Understanding your motivations can help you address the root cause. Remember, every time you choose not to engage in gossip, You're not just avoiding negative talk, you're actively creating space for more meaningful, positive conversations. Habit 3. Oversharing on social media. In our hyper-connected world, it's become second nature for many of us to share. Well, everything. What we ate for breakfast, our workout routines, our relationship ups and downs, it's all fair game for the gram, right? But here's where another Stoic philosopher, Seneca, drops some wisdom on us. He said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Now, he wasn't talking about social media, obviously, but this quote is surprisingly relevant to our modern sharing habits. When we overshare on social media, we're often presenting a curated, idealized version of our lives. This can lead to two problems. 1. We start living for the gram, constantly thinking about how to present our lives instead of actually living them. 2. We compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, leading to unnecessary suffering and feelings of inadequacy. So, how do we dial back on oversharing without becoming complete social media hermits? Here are a few ideas. 1. Implement a waiting period before posting anything. Wait an hour or even a day. Often, you'll find the urge to share passes. 2. Ask yourself why. Before hitting post, ask yourself why you're sharing this. Is it to genuinely connect with others, or is it for validation? 3. Quality over quantity. Focus on sharing fewer, more meaningful posts rather than documenting every moment of your day. 4. Create phone-free zones. Designate certain times or places, like during meals or in your bedroom, as phone-free zones. This can help you be more present in the moment. Remember, the goal isn't to completely stop sharing. It's about finding a balance that allows you to stay connected without feeling the need to broadcast every aspect of your life. Habit 4. Saying yes when you want to say no. How many times have you agreed to do something you really didn't want to do, just to avoid disappointing someone or seeming unhelpful? If you're anything like me, probably more times than you can count. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius had something to say about this. He wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Simple, right? But oh so hard to put into practice. Saying no can be incredibly difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser. But here's the thing, every time you say yes to something you don't really want to do, you're saying no to something else. Maybe it's no to some much-needed rest, or no to spending time on a project you're passionate about. So how can we get better at saying no? Here are a few strategies. 1. Buy yourself some time. Instead of immediately agreeing to something, try saying, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." This gives you space to really consider if you want to commit. 2. Be honest. You don't need to make up elaborate excuses. A simple, "I'm sorry, but I can't commit to that right now," is often enough. 3. Offer alternatives. If you can't do what's being asked, but you still want to help, try offering an alternative solution. 4. Practice. Like any skill, saying no gets easier with practice. Start with small, low-stakes situations and work your way up. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, it can make you a more reliable and authentic friend or colleague. When you do say yes, people will know you really mean it. Habit 5. Constantly comparing yourself to others. In today's world of social media and carefully curated online personas, it's easier than ever to fall into the comparison trap. We see our friend's new job announcement, our cousin's picture-perfect wedding, or that influencer's seemingly flawless life, and suddenly we're questioning all our life choices. But here's what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus had to say about this. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Easier said than done, right? But there's profound wisdom in this approach. When we're constantly comparing ourselves to others, we're focusing on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. So how do we break this habit? Here are a few strategies. 1. Practice gratitude. Regularly take time to acknowledge and appreciate what you have in your life. This could be through a gratitude journal or simply taking a few moments each day to reflect. 2. Focus on your own progress. Instead of comparing yourself to others, try comparing yourself to where you were a year ago or 5 years ago. Celebrate your own growth and achievements. 3. Recognize that you're seeing highlight reels. Remember, social media usually shows the best moments of people's lives, not the everyday struggles and mundane moments. 4. Limit social media use. If you find that scrolling through Instagram or Facebook often leaves you feeling inadequate, it might be time to cut back. 5. Channel comparison into inspiration. If you do find yourself comparing, try to shift your perspective. Instead of feeling envious, ask yourself what you can learn from that person's success. Remember, your journey is unique. As the saying goes, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't let it steal yours. Habit 6. Avoiding difficult conversations. We've all been there. There's a conversation we know we need to have, maybe with a friend who has hurt us, a coworker who isn't pulling their weight, or a family member with whom we disagree. But it's uncomfortable, so we put it off. And put it off. And put it off some more. The Stoic philosopher Seneca had something to say about this too. He wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." In other words, we often build up these difficult conversations in our minds to be far worse than they actually are. Avoiding difficult conversations might seem like the easy path in the short term, but it often leads to bigger problems down the road. Resentment builds, issues fester, and relationships can be damaged. So how can we get better at tackling these tough talks? Here are some strategies. 1. Prepare, but don't over-prepare. Think about what you want to say, but don't try to script the entire conversation. Be open to listening and responding in the moment. 2. Choose the right time and place. Pick a time when you're both calm and have privacy. 3. Use I statements instead of saying you always. Or you never. Try I feel. Or I've noticed. This can help the other person feel less defensive. 4. Listen actively. Remember, a conversation goes both ways. Really listen to what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. 5. Focus on solutions. Instead of just venting or pointing fingers, try to work together to find a way forward. Remember, having difficult conversations is a skill, and like any skill, it gets better with practice. Each time you have one of these conversations, you're building your resilience and improving your relationships. Habit 7. Trying to please everyone. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the habit of trying to please everyone. This is a big one, and it's closely related to some of the other habits we've discussed, like saying yes when you want to say no, and seeking constant validation. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius had some wisdom to share on this topic. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When we try to please everyone, we're essentially trying to control things outside of our power, namely, other people's opinions and feelings. Not only is this exhausting, but it's also impossible. No matter what you do, there will always be someone who disagrees or disapproves. So how do we break free from this habit? Here are some strategies. 1. Define your values. Get clear on what's truly important to you. When you know your values, it's easier to make decisions based on what you believe rather than what you think will please others. 2. Set boundaries. It's okay to have limits on what you're willing to do for others. Communicate these boundaries clearly and kindly. 3. Accept that conflict is normal. Disagreements and differences of opinion are a natural part of human relationships. They don't necessarily mean you've done something wrong. 4. Focus on authenticity. Instead of trying to be who you think others want you to be, focus on being true to yourself. Ironically, this authenticity often draws people to you more than trying to please everyone does. 5. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you feel you've let someone down. Remember, you're human and you're doing your best. Breaking the habit of trying to please everyone isn't easy. It might feel uncomfortable at first, and you might worry that people won't like you as much. But in the long run, you'll likely find that your relationships become more genuine, your stress levels decrease, and you have more energy to focus on the things that truly matter to you. So there you have it, 7 social habits that you might want to consider quietly eliminating from your life. Let's recap. 1. Constantly seeking validation from others. 2. Gossiping and speaking ill of others. 3. Oversharing on social media. 4. Saying yes when you want to say no. 5. Constantly comparing yourself to others. 6. Avoiding difficult conversations. 7. Trying to please everyone. Now, I want to be clear about something. These habits didn't develop overnight, and they won't disappear overnight either. Changing ingrained behaviors takes time, patience, and a whole lot of self-compassion. There will be slip-ups and backslides, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Remember what Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." As you work on eliminating these habits, don't forget to celebrate your successes, no matter how small they might seem. And here's one final thought from Marcus Aurelius to take with you: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You have the power to change these habits. It might not be easy, but I promise you, it's worth it. So, which of these habits resonates most with you? Which one will you start working on first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, small changes can lead to big transformations. See you in the next video.